Hi, good evening. My name is Richmond Santos. I'm here to present Netherlands culture for my professional ethics and diversity project. To start with, the geographical location. So the Netherlands is located in Western Europe. It borders big countries like Belgium and Germany over here, as you can see, in the North Sea. The Netherlands is also known as Holland, and it's actually the official name for the Netherlands is the Kingdom of Netherlands, also known as the Lowlands. Uh, how they communicate, their official language is Dutch. It's very important for them to, when speaking, you make full eye contact. It's kind of a sign of respect. Also, common greetings, also a firm handshake and a nod of the head. Um, they also introduce themselves by mentioning their first and last name. Family rules and organization. It's typically made of the nuclear family on most households for the Netherlands. Extended family tend to live separately. Unlike over here in the United States, it's some make a mother-in-law suite. Over there in the Netherlands, they typically live separately. And within the household, it's usually the man that has the authority in the household. Biological features of the Netherlands. It's mostly composed of the Dutch, followed by English and German. Um, now most Netherlands are fair skinned, and their physical features are typically tall, blonde hair, and blue eyes. Some of the common diseases found in the Netherlands is cancer. It's actually one of the 12 highest rate in the world for cancer. Um, Also, there's cardiovascular disease, which causes 29% of deaths in the Netherlands. It's very common. Also, chronic respiratory disease, lung disease, and because there's a high percentage of smokers in the Netherlands. About 28% of the people in the country smoke. Nutrition. Um, as I was mentioned earlier, as far as the physical characteristics, they're typically tall. Um, you know, Part of it's the nutrition. They eat a lot of high protein and vitamins. Um, Typically, it's they eat a full range of amino acids, and that's usually found in the milk and yogurt and cheese. They eat a lot of milk-based foods, which has a lot of vitamins and minerals, which assist with that growth. Again, all the additional proteins when they're young. Pregnancy and childbearing practices. Um, over there in the Netherlands, typically when you're pregnant, you first find a midwife. The role of the doctors normally, in a pregnancy is minor. You're mostly dealing with the midwife, and also their postnatal care in the Dutch hospitals are really short. Um, some are seen to leave within hours after delivering baby. What happens with them is after the birth, they get home health care. Home birth maternity care supports the midwife, um, and maternity care assistance is on your doorsteps within hours of leaving the hospital. Just find that very fascinating. Deaths and rituals. Funerals are very high. Usually invitation only. Unlike over here in the United States, it's a big gathering. Um, but over there, they take place in many locations. And they usually bury their loved ones within 4 days of their deaths. Spirituality, now Netherlands, primarily Catholic in population. About 30% of the population is Catholic. The next highest is Protestant, Reformed Protestant, which is 14%. Dutch Reformed, which is 7%. And 4% is Muslim. Some of the high-risk behaviors found over there in the Netherlands. Hep C is very big. Hep C virus epidemic there in Amsterdam, where there's a lot of drug users over there. It's seen a lot. It remains pretty high, about 44% among young adults users have ever injected. But the subtypes of Hep C is 1A and 3A, and it's mostly those drug users in Amsterdam. Some of the healthcare benefits and practices. Beliefs about the death and the afterlife is attached to the major religions. The deceased, like I said earlier, is either buried within 4 days at a cemetery or cremated at a cremation center. Now, all the burials and the cremations are arranged by professional undertakers. As far as the attitude towards the healthcare practitioners, over there, healthcare is great, almost completely responsible of the state. Almost everyone in the Netherlands carry medical insurance, which is amazing. The unemployment, even low-income families are protected by public healthcare insurance. And then the higher-income families have private insurance. As far as communicating, like I mentioned earlier, it's the direct communication style, the eye contact, talk quite frankly and just straightforward to the manner. Also, vast majority of doctors in the country can speak English. Health promotion education. In here I attached the different healthcare promotion education, the Ministry of Health, Welfare, and Sport Overseas. Local authorities also carry out services, and the Health Promotion Institute focus on specific educational programs. How to show respects to beliefs regarding birth and death. Now, euthanasia, under the Dutch law, it's an offense unless doctor reports that the fact that the patient has complied with statutory due to the care criteria. In the Netherlands, euthanasia is understood to mean termination of life, just like over here in the U.S. Dutch law allows for doctors to comply with such requests in certain cases. Abortion is also listed as an offense in the Dutch criminal code, but doctors performing the procedures will not be prosecuted if the woman states that her pregnancy has put her in a difficult position. The women there can decide for themselves whether her position is serious enough that warrants an abortion. Some of the ethical considerations, prostitution's very big over there in the Netherlands. One of the famous spots, the Red Light District. But in 2000, Netherlands lifted bans on the brothels, so it's no longer punishable by law. It's not an offense. Now, prostitutes. by prostitutes introduce licenses for businesses where men and women are employed as prostitutes versus business operating without license. So it still requires a license to operate those brothels. Um, but they're considering that, with these brothels, it kind of tones down on the human trafficking. Um, just some of the ethical considerations when talking about Netherlands. Also, another thing, it's big there, especially in Amsterdam, that's located in the Netherlands, is drugs. All drugs are forbidden in the Netherlands, but the sale of cannabis in shops are known as misdemeanors. But offenders are not prosecuted as long as they meet the strict conditions, which is they could carry up to 5 grams of cannabis per day, and they must be legal of age. Now, the legal age limit is 18 years old. Attach my references for this PowerPoint, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.